Hello, and welcome to the Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. My name is John Shipley. I am your host and beat reporter, and I have been your beat reporter covering the Jacksonville Jaguars for On SI every single day since August 2019, and we are continuing to march through yet another offseason together. As always, Jaguars On SI delivers you the best and most comprehensive coverage of the Jacksonville Jaguars that you will find anywhere, whether it be locally or even nationally. You can find our 24/7, 100% free, boots on the ground coverage on social media such as Facebook and Twitter at Jaguars on SI. And you can also find us at www.si.com/NFL/Jaguars. Welcome to today's episode, the Jacksonville Jaguars Insider Podcast. Today, we are going to discuss if the New York Giants will actually give the Jaguars a blessing and potentially take Shedeur Sanders at number 3 overall. Now, for the last several weeks, really, especially since the owners' meetings, every insider out there, NFL Network, Adam Schefter, Albert Breer with SI, has really harped on the fact that things don't look like Shedeur Sanders is going to be a top pick in this year's NFL draft. Could still be a first-round pick, etc., but it definitely seems like insiders have, poured cold water over the notion that he could be the number 2 or number 3 overall pick to the Cleveland Browns or New York Giants. It certainly seems from the outside that the Browns are zeroing in on Colorado's Travis Hunter at number 2 overall. So that pipe dream for the Jacksonville Jaguars, we've known for a few weeks that's it. That just does not seem like the Browns are in the market to take a quarterback at number 2 overall. They could take one in the second round. They could trade back into the first one. But for the Jaguars' hopes of getting Travis Hunter, it certainly feels like those odds are close to zero. We're at near zero. I said earlier in the offseason, I believe there was a chance the Jaguars could get Hunter if the board fell a certain way. The Browns take Carter and the Giants take Shedeur and the Patriots take Will Campbell. But it just does not look like that is the scenario for the Jaguars. So it very much so seems like Travis Hunter should be put on, the back burner. That, it was always a pipe dream, winning that meaningless game at the end of the year against a terrible Tennessee Titans team with a bad head coach and a bad quarterback in Brian Callahan and Will Levis. I gave the Jaguars some dopamine for a second, but in the end, it looks like that's going to be what is keeping them from drafting Travis Hunter. Now, the intrigue here comes from reports yesterday that Shedeur Sanders is set to have a private workout with the New York Giants this week. Kind of a last-minute, workout before the draft. Says, according to Tom Pelissero, he's working out privately with them on Thursday. That's just 1 week before the draft. And that certainly throws, I think, an interesting curveball into things. It doesn't mean the Giants are going to take Shedeur Sanders, obviously. But to me, it does mean that they don't think their evaluation of him is over. That the debate is still raging inside the New York Giants organization about Shedeur Sanders. Now, many have assumed the Giants are out of the quarterback market at number 3 overall because they signed Russell Wilson, they signed Jameis Winston. They don't have a clear need for a rookie quarterback to come in and play right away. But I thought current ESPN analyst and former New York Jets general manager Mike Tannenbaum made a good point. And he essentially said that, when a workout happens this late in the process, I'm going to pull up exactly what he said, that it indicates there's still some kind of dialogue happening. He said, quote, "When this happens so late in the process, either there's a big disagreement in the building on their evaluation or they are reacting to new information." Doesn't appear there's any new information about Shedeur Sanders. So potentially the Jaguars can benefit from the Giants still debating Shedeur Sanders. If the Giants take Shedeur Sanders at number 3, and assuming the Browns took Travis Hunter at 2, that could give the Jaguars a chance to get Abdul Carter at number 5. I do think that there is a chance Abdul Carter can be there at 5. I don't think there's any chance Travis Hunter will be. But at least based on conversations I've had with people around the league, it wouldn't be the most shocking thing in the world if Abdul Carter fell number 5. It would take the Giants passing on him, obviously. In this instance, passing on him for Shadur Sanders. And it would take the Patriots passing on him. And the Patriots, in my opinion, if they were to pass on him, probably for Will Campbell, the LSU offensive tackle, they have a big left tackle need. So say the Giants do take Sanders, then the Patriots are the only team standing between the Jaguars and the top pass rusher in the draft. A guy who, before the combine, a lot of people were calling the top overall player in the draft. Now, I don't think his stock has fallen since then, but of course he's had the injuries. He hasn't, worked out, etc. He hasn't done anything to boost his stock. But of the two truly elite players in this draft class, Hunter and Carter, I think, at least has a small chance to be available at number 5. And that chance increases dramatically if the Giants take Shadur Sanders at number 3. So this is something to watch because, again, a lot of insiders have said that they don't believe Shadur Sanders will go that high. You can find a story, on our site of Albert Breer, detailing why he doesn't think so. He said, quote, "I'm having a really hard time finding coaches or scouts who believe Sanders is a first-round talent. This, by the way, is separate from any issue anyone has with his personality. Those questions exist, but lots of teams have made exceptions in that department in the past to take on guys with special talents. The problem seems to be that too many folks don't think Sanders has those types of gifts. What I keep hearing, and this has nothing to do with anyone having some personal issue with Sanders or looking for him to fall in the draft so they can draft him, is that he isn't a great athlete on tape, doesn't have exceptional arm talent, and too often does things that simply won't translate to the NFL game." That sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about what what the evaluation clearly has been on Sanders, for some time. So it definitely appears to me that Sanders won't be there, but the Giants could definitely be throwing a curveball right there for the Jaguars at number 3 overall.